talk about labelling now in the product and a couple of issues. We'll first of all talk about something that Foster's has done today. Foster's is pulling off the market in terms of its ready-to-drink alcoholic beverages. Anything that's got additives in terms of guarana or caffeine and that sort of thing. Do you use those kind of additives in your drinks?
No, we don't. We have seaweed in some, botanicals in some. I mean, this particular drink here, Green Power, has 4 different types of seaweed. But we know that being a vegetable or a food group, which they are classified as, that, for example, spirulina is exceptionally high in protein.
Okay. And in terms of labelling, one of your competitors got into trouble recently by claiming that its juice was a cranberry juice, when in fact it was found to have mainly, say, apple juice as the main ingredient. How careful are you with labelling?
We're very careful. We actually, I suppose, adhere to the food standards as closely as we can, and we essentially label all of our ingredients from the sort of highest contributor down to the lowest.
Okay. In terms of the process of getting your product onto the shelves at the supermarket or into the cafes and that sort of thing, what was the process of doing that, and how easy or how hard was it?
I mean, it's hard. These top-level cafes and food outlets, they really know what they want. Like us, they're entrepreneurs, and once again, they know where every dollar in the cafe or deli will come from. So your product's got to not only sell in high volume, but obviously provide them a good margin. But we went out and we identified the sort of places we wanted to be in. We drove around the capital cities knowing the good spots. So when we launched, we actually went out and got them. And we didn't do a hard sell. We dropped off some juice. We had a conversation. We were all out there doing it, and came back a couple of days later, and hopefully they took us on. And then, of course, we rely upon our distributor to continually fulfil those orders. So
given that there's a few other fruit juices out there in terms of competition, what do you think is your sustainable competitive advantage over all the others?
Ours is a whole fruit smoothie. So that is very rare, a fresh, cold-filled whole fruit smoothie. Ours also come in a larger bottle than many others do. We identified before we launched that, I suppose, Australians' subliminal idea of a drink was between 330 and 380 millilitres.
Okay.
So for that reason, our bottles are 350.
Okay. Innovation is key to any business, constantly changing and appealing to changing taste buds or the taste of consumers. At what point did you decide to go beyond fruit juices and introduce your latest range of products, and that's nutrient waters?
Well, as you say, you've got to innovate. We clearly had a dialogue operating after 3 years with up to 2,000 Australian retailers and thousands and thousands of customers. And we get lots of emails and phone calls to the free call line on the back of the bottle. And people are, I suppose, because they feel they have a sense of ownership of our business. It's not big corporate addy. It's a genuine effort to give people a really healthy drink alternative. That consumers talk to us, and whilst they love the juice, there's other times in their day or lifestyle they wanted a water. So we've now started producing this range of waters, which are all natural, colours and flavours, with 25% of your daily requirements of vitamins and minerals. So
again, it's another segment in the market which is being infiltrated by other companies, where we're seeing waters with an additional mineral or vitamin or additional flavour. Just how beneficial are these type of products, really?
These are what we would say healthy hydration.
Right.
You need to have your 1 or 2 litres of water a day. These are lightly flavoured with natural colours and flavours, so it's, I suppose, a more appealing drink. Everyone we know tries to eat well, but a little vitamin top-up doesn't hurt, so we've put that in, and then we've added a small amount of fructose to as a sweetener, but not so much that, like many of those sort of carbonated soft drinks, you have that sticky teeth feeling. It's a fresh, clean drink you can drink all day.
How long has this range been on the market?
We only launched the waters in November, so we're quite embryonic there.
What's the take-up been like?
Oh, very strong, good. I mean, and once again, water's a different beast. It's competitive, but we're only a small business and we're holding our own well, and the feedback's been fantastic. We've had big customers like, for example, Hudson's Coffee have taken it on, straight away, and they're loving the sales.
Okay. How important is it to get a backer or a distributor or a retailer like a well-known brand like Hudson?
Oh, for us it's exceptionally important, and we protect those relationships very strongly, and they're most valuable to us, and it's important to us to be in these spots because obviously the good operators are the ones who are telling their customers what they should be drinking and eating.
Okay. And in terms of where you make most of your money from, is it through sales at cafes or through supermarkets or other ways you sell the product?
We're not currently in the major supermarkets, we're in independent supermarkets, and we've got a very good cross-section in food services, so Spotless.
Why is that?
We wanted to grow the brand, and a supermarket product doesn't get represented very strongly, it's on a shelf. Whereas in a cafe, you've got Nick saying to his customer, look, have this juice, it's a fantastic product. Mm-hmm. And that's an independent endorsement. They haven't been advertised at, and then I suppose it comes with more credibility, and it gives the person a chance to discover it themselves.
Well, that's my next question. Do you think that also adds to the fact that it might be perceived as a premium brand or a premium product?
I mean, look, it is a premium product by virtue of the ingredients. We don't skimp on ingredients, and as I said earlier, there are essentially 3 pieces of fruit per bottle. Now, at its price point, that's good value compared to a soft drink that mightn't provide as much nutritional value.
Okay. In terms of marketing and advertising, I'm curious to know, since you're not a massive company, what kind of techniques do you find works well for your sort of business?
We work very hard just essentially at the shop front, so that once again the proprietor is speaking on our behalf. We have point of sale. We have a sampling team in most states who will do in-store samplings. We sponsor many running events, surfing events, art gallery openings, cultural events, so people get a chance to taste the product. And of course we do some PR and make sure that the right journalists are aware of us.
Continuing on the marketing theme, I'm curious to know also, the packaging, it's quite simple, it's quite plain. Is that a deliberate strategy?
Exactly. I mean, we wanted the product to speak for itself. I suppose one of our company attributes is that we are straight up. So what people can see here, obviously, is what they get. There's no wraparound labelling, it's not a white bottle. And in many of our juices, because they're blends, there's pieces of seeds and things floating around, and our consumers like that.
Okay, good point. And the whole Emma and Tom's name, was there a bit of a discussion about whose name came first?
No, there wasn't. We actually couldn't think of anything else and decided to use our weakness, being just 2 of us versus many multinationals, as a strength. And E came before T, and then of course the initials spell out the word eat, and we've often played with the word juicy food.
Okay. And just before we quickly go into the in-business top 10, can you give us an idea of what turnover was like, so we get an indication of how the business has grown in terms of maybe your first year as start-up and what it looks like now?
Sure. I mean, we're still a small business, and we're very mindful of that, having come from larger corporate backgrounds, to sort of be very careful of everything. We started probably with about $500,000 in the first year, and right now we're annualising probably 3.5, and it's going towards 5 quite quickly.
Okay. And what's next?
What's next? We've got a range of iced teas, organically brewed iced tea, where we feel once again there's a need in Australia for an independent and functional iced tea beverage. We've got a range of vitamin and mineral waters for schools that comply with the school standards for their tuck shops. Always a couple more juices, and possibly some larger packaging, so there's always lots to do.
And given that it's growing, and then you've got your big companies like your Cokes or your Pepsis, have you had a knock on the door yet, saying, hey, we're interested?
We have the occasional conversation. Of course, we're mindful about them thumping us, so we try and keep ourselves running along ahead of them.
Okay. Very quickly, we'll do the in-business top 10, just to wrap up. Tom, your first job?
Serving in a fruit shop.
How appropriate. What was your worst job?
Probably investment banking, ECM.
Oh, wow. Okay. In your current business, what's the biggest challenge you faced?
Currently, probably replying to emails holding a 7-week-old child.
Biggest mistake you've made?
Overproducing $40,000 worth of juice last Christmas.
Okay. Your biggest success?
Launching a fantastic tasting range of fruit smoothies.
Greatest competitor?
The market's very competitive. We're mindful of that, and we just keep our head down, like I said.
No one ever wants to mention the competitor's name. A greatest role model?
Probably my family.
If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Either pulling beers at the areas in that pub and surfing, or another startup.
Your business mantra?
I think you need to be persistent.
Okay, and your greatest business tip?
On the same vein, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, Tom Griffith from Emma and Tom's Juices and now Waters. Appreciate your time. Thank you.